All right, hello, greetings, and welcome everyone to the place where the magic happens, my closet. I am the Ninjaneer. We're going to go ahead and jump into this video. We have a lot of fun topics to talk about. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump in here. There was a lot of great coverage from the usual suspects when it comes to the webinar and all that kind of stuff, including my own post-webinar show. Along with those usual suspects, I went ahead and condensed those stories and a few others that you may not have heard into a basically stuff I liked but kind of news video anyway sort of scenario. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Um, all right, the topics for today are as follows. Is this really the best electric vehicle ever made? Speaking of Aptera. Is Aptera accidentally blocking investors? Aptera has an emphasis on safety. Jason Hill did an interview. Aptera did some aerodynamic testing. Will Aptera make it to production? Aptera posted some pictures. Sandy Monroe talks about Aptera. And I got some really amazing news that I can't wait to share with you guys. Last but not least, Ford just announced that they would be using the NACS connector. What does that do with Aptera? Let's go ahead and get into it. So, first things first, I watched a video by a channel called Solar Aptera about the Aptera, and what stuck out to me in this video particularly is that he got all of his research correct and he managed to do an excellent job as a communicator. Yeah, this man sold me on Aptera again, and I was already sold. He did a great job communicating Aptera's strengths and kind of renewed my vigor for Aptera. The next video that we will talk about is by a channel called Passivlife. It brought me back down to a reasonable level of excitement for Aptera by bringing up a very good point that I hadn't even considered. I figured, personally, that everybody in the Aptera world could easily invest in Aptera, but this channel brings up an issue that, if it is true, which I currently have no reason to doubt it, could be the reason why Aptera has not already finished their accelerator program, why the accelerator program isn't funded. So I encourage you guys to go watch that video. Let me know if I'm crazy or if they're crazy with respect to this viewpoint. It makes logical sense, so I have no reason to doubt it. But again, I could have missed something. They could have missed something. So yeah. The next video we'll talk about is one by a channel you probably have heard of and have probably subscribed to. If you haven't, you should, but at any rate, Tailosive EV did an excellent video addressing several safety concerns that people tend to have when it comes to Aptera. The video itself is very thorough in both its topics and its discussion. It fleshed out said topics very well, and it's one of the few videos that not only... What is that noise? Okay, so if you guys can hear whatever that noise is, I apologize. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that at a later time. Oh, it just stopped. Sweet. All right, so yeah, it not only did it bring up things that I hadn't particularly considered, but he did so in a way that I didn't have any questions afterwards. Like I wasn't scratching my head like, wait, why didn't he cover this? Or he forgot this topic, or I had this question, maybe, yeah, he did a really good job of expanding on everything and giving a very succinct and very thorough answer to everything. It was a great video, so I encourage you guys to go watch it. All of these videos, by the way, will be linked in the description. I will also link Aptera's Twitter page and a whole bunch of other fun stuff so you can find all of the information that I have shared today. All right, so Jason Hill did a phenomenal interview with Motor Trend's The Inevitable. It was one of the more fun interviews I've seen for him. They dig really deeply into Jason Hill's background, his lineage, his parentage, and how it ties into automotive engineering in general. There was a lot of fascinating facts that were gleaned here. If you like long form content, I really honestly couldn't recommend this video more. It was pretty darn amazing. In other Jason Hill news, through his LinkedIn page, he shared some photos of what appeared to be the Aptera in like a wind tunnel. There were people that were skeptical of this photo, thinking it was like photoshopped or something like that. Oh, maybe, they just decided, oh, they're gonna do testing eventually, and maybe that. Yeah, no. This is actually confirmed by Aptera Owners Club that they did go and do wind tunnel testing, and that the story behind how that wind tunnel testing got done is kind of amazing, or so um, they say on the Aptera Owners Club. I am convinced that they are going to do some kind of video later. Um, yeah, they hinted that there would be, well, sorry, Aptera Owners Club hinted that there would be a full story uh, on the wind tunnel testing, and I am all the way ready to see that. I'm a guy for technical specs. I'm a guy for numbers on paper. Uh, Seeing numbers on paper is always great, in my opinion. So the more numbers we have, the better. Although I don't think that they're really going to release the numbers for this particular instance, because this is not a production vehicle. If they see that the numbers are around what they expected, they might release the numbers, but I'm not expecting them to in this case because, I mean, yeah, it would not make sense to say, oh, these are the specs and the production vehicle is completely different. So, yeah, anyway, I'm not expecting it, but if they do, more bonuses, more great stuff, more numbers. I like numbers. Uh, Another great video came from Drive the Lightning in the form of a commute to work and a very provocative set of questions, including will Aptera make it to production? The discussion was very interesting, and I learned that Chad, who I assume was driving because he was the only voice in the video, is extremely proficient at driving. My man was in the middle of the lane the entire time. I don't know if he was doing that on purpose because he was recording or what, but yeah, man, good job. Like, what? Like, driving skills top notch. Anyway, Aptera posted some pictures online asking, can anyone guess what these are used for? The most likely answer was one that came from a guy, Charlie Electric. He said, brand new AGVs. Considering you could see the letters AGV in the photo, I'm inclined to agree with Charlie. I'm also very delighted at the implication here. They are putting the pedal to the metal when it comes to getting to production, and the a potential confirmation from Sandy Monroe may confirm what I speculated about in kind of hushed tones. Like, I didn't want to put it in a video and then, be like super wrong. Even though I'm not afraid to be wrong on video, I don't want to give Aptera undue pressure because they're already under a lot of stress and pressure, and they are doing something that is extremely difficult to do, according to anyone who has ever done it. So, yeah, I speculated about this in hushed tones, but even the hushed tones that I speculated in were not close to the wildest imaginations and machinations that were just dropped by Sandy. To be more clear, Sandy Monroe did an interview with Wings, Wheels, and Wires where he was asked a question about when Aptera would enter production. The interview in full was a good watch, but the answer Sandy gave without hesitation was even better than the speculation, even in my most optimistic dreams when it came to Aptera production. I personally was thinking that December of this year, maybe January of next, we would see the first fully production spec vehicles out on the road. Not necessarily in people's hands, but maybe in people's hands. I'm not really entirely certain when that's going to happen, but my thought process for actual production ready Apteras was December of this year, at the earliest. So Sandy Monroe, without hesitation, my man was just, oh yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, September. September is what he said. And I was like, yeah, bro, I don't know if you were supposed to say that, but if that's true, and by the way, this is not financial advice, just where I'm going now, talk to your financial advisor. But anyway, you may want to get in on this boat if you haven't already. Talk to your financial advisor, get that hammered out, because yeah, if Sandy's right, you don't have much time. I don't have much time. I want to put more money into them. But again, not financial advice. Don't follow YouTubers' financial advice. Get a financial advisor to do that advising for you. Even though I am a financial advisor, I am not advising financially in this situation. So keep that together. I'm not telling you to go buy Aptera stuff, but you might want to go buy Aptera stuff. Just throwing that out there, not financial advice. Anyway, um, I also have some amazing news. I may be working directly with Aptera in the near future to do something really unique, really awesome, really fun. Please keep your ear to the ground in the next couple of days to a week or so. I'm going to be doing this hopefully uh, the way that I want to. They seem very open to the concept that I am presenting, and if I can get this done with the help of Aptera, it will be phenomenally amazing. So, yeah, just keep your ear to the ground. I am hopefully doing something fantastic. All right, last bit of news that dropped right as I was editing this video, which is why it didn't come out yesterday. Um, Ford is adopting the NACS connector. That happened during a a live podcast by somebody who I admire very deeply, but cannot pronounce his name for anything in the world. I am going to get it, next time he has an awesome video, but I can't say it, and I'm sorry to the gentleman who is uh, responsible for this amazing breaking news happening. Anyway, I'm going to put his channel in the description because everybody's going to be in the description. Everything I talked about is going to be in the description. So you can see his name and hopefully teach me how to pronounce it. But anyway, yeah. Ford adopting the North American charging standard, the Tesla connector, is pretty monumental. The reason that it has anything to do with Aptera is Aptera was first. They were the first to adopt the NACS connector, and I am glad that they are the kind of the herald for all of the other auto companies, hopefully, to get into the NACS connector. Now, I expect that the U.S. government or some other very powerful body is putting together something to counteract or um, to compete with the North American charging standard type connector. Um, the reason why I believe that is because there's always going to be competition, and yeah, it's gonna be one of those things that I think is gonna happen. Um, Partly because of how fervently the U.S. government seemed to be backing the CCS architecture. It just seemed natural or organic to me that they would come out with their own improvement to the CCS connector if it is, in fact, the route that they want to go. Otherwise, they'll probably end up backing the NACS connector, the Tesla connector, sometime in the near future. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it is really good to hear that there are other vehicle companies acknowledging the fact that it is better to have a smaller, more efficient plug than it is to have a very large plug. Um, I don't know if you guys know this, but the uh, nozzle that you connect to your car for fuels and what have yous, it is very large and bulky, and I always had issue with that. In fact, I have issue with going to gas stations in general, but that's beside the point. The point is, in general, that is something that seems to be chunky connectors to refuel vehicles seemed like something that was always going to be until Tesla came along. So hopefully somebody will follow suit and make a really small, really efficient connector, or people will adopt the Tesla connector as the standard plug. Um, I know that there are people against that, but it's just better. Like in every way that I can think of, it is better. And so, yeah, until another not CCS architecture comes out, or maybe CCS2 comes out, I'm gonna be behind the NACS 100% because it is sleek, it is beautiful, it is one of those things that I loved most about renting a Tesla when I went to California to see the Aptera. Renting a Tesla to see the Aptera, yeah, was experiencing a Tesla connector and thinking, wow, this is actually charging a vehicle. This is actually giving me my range back, and it's so small and easy to use. Why doesn't everybody use this? That was my thoughts. Anyway, um, really cool news from Ford. Caught that like at the while I was editing. I listen to podcasts and stuff while I edit. If the editing is not terribly intensive. So like if I get to a this point where I'm putting my music in the background or what have you, then I will listen to a podcast because I already know what the songs are. But yeah, I heard that on the podcast. Sorry, on the live feed, and I was like, oh, time to stop editing. So anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching this video today. That'll about do it. Please comment down below if you saw something that I didn't, that you think was awesome. What do you think I will be announcing if it all goes well? Leave your comments down below, like, subscribe, share, all that kind of fun stuff. Thank you all so much for watching and for subscribing. I will catch you guys next time.